Greetings duelists and welcome to another video. So, Tistina's Strongest Soldier is back in action. If you've been here on this channel, you know that I have actually play tested this deck and I've actually experimented with it in the past year or so. Throughout time and testament, this archetype needed a lot of help, and I felt like in order for this strategy to keep up, something needed to change, something really drastic, and I think we finally have something. Without further ado, let's begin. So, in the past year or so, we've gotten a few new tools that helped the Tistina deck. In Supreme Darkness, we got Double Wild, which is a really cool card because this card enables you the summon for the Crystal God, which is something that this deck desperately needed. In Alliance Insight, we're getting Chaotic Elements, which is really cool because it's a card that can tutor the Demigod, and just having more cards that can search the Demigod is good because this is pretty much one of the best starters in the entire archetype. But despite all of that, the deck was still lacking a lot of things. Like, we do have one card starters, but our one card combos are just not good enough, and the extenders that we have does not make up for making good enough boards with the deck. So in Duelist Advanced, we got revealed one card for Tistina, and yeah, let's talk about it. This is Miasma Dragon Tistina. So Miasma Dragon Tistina reads, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Tistina monster from your deck to your hand, except for the Miasma Dragon. Also for the wrestler's turn, light Tistina monsters you control gain 1000 attack. If this card is sent to the graveyard while a card is in the field zone, you can special summon this card. Also, you cannot special summon from the hand or graveyard for the wrestler's turn except Tistina monsters. You can only use this effect once per turn. What does this card mean for the archetype? This card does a lot. Like, I'm not gonna say that the archetype is completely fixed because of the existence of this card. However, the dynamic and the playstyle of the deck is going to be changed dramatically because of this card. And let me go with more explanations with that. The first thing that this card does for the archetype, it turns the Divine Domain into a starter. Prior to this card's existence, the only real starters we had were Sentinel, Breath, and technically Demigod, but Demigod needed another Tistina card. You can make the argument for Sentinel needing another Tistina as well, but now, thanks to the Miasma, Divine Domain is now a starter, and that's a very big deal because that also means that Fallen of Tistina is also a starter. And let me demonstrate. Like just because of the existence of the Miasma Dragon, you can now like do way more plays with just one card, and the dynamic of the archetype can change dramatically. There's a lot of different end boards you can do. This is all without showing you Fiendsmith cards. The reason I'm not showing you Fiendsmith combos is because one, there is one stipulation that is very important involving the Miasma Dragon. The second reason is, by the time of this recording, YCS Houston is going on, and by the end of that event, we're probably going to have a Forbidden Limited list that will update the ratios for the Fiendsmith cards. Depending on how that goes, then we can do something in the future with them. But yeah, the lock that Miasma Dragon has for summoning Tistina monsters from your hand or graveyard it's not really a big deal. There's a lot of things you can do even under this condition. And this is to show you that not just the field spell is a 1-card starter. Technically it's a 1.5 card starter, you do need a monster. But Breath of the Tistina is a stronger starter than the field spell. Yeah, like this is like a lot of combination of stuff that you can do, and one of them involves summoning Varudras. Varudras is a really strong boss monster for the Tistina deck, and Tistina is one of the archetypes that can summon this card easily. The other ones would be like Ryugi and Yubel. However, the issue with Varudras in the past was that despite how powerful this card was, Tistina didn't have enough pushing power to make other disruptions besides just the Varudras. But yeah, now thanks to Miasma Dragon, you can summon Varudras as part of your end board. So one really cool thing about the Miasma Dragon is that it barely conflicts with the Punk engine. If you've been on my channel in the past year or so, you've probably seen the Punk Tistina deck that I've experimented with. I will leave the combo guide in the description if you're interested in that. Now we have a new version of that old combo, and you're going to see that the Miasma Dragon is going to play a very pivotal role. But yeah, if you're interested in the Punk combo, again, I will post it in the description. This is an upgraded version of that combo, because not only are Tistina getting new cards, the Punk monsters are also getting an upgrade as well. So you'll see that when you see the end board. So yeah, let's summarize. A 2-card combo. They involved like one of the starters and the emergency teleport. Ended on 1 monster negate, 1 omni negate, a disruption that it's not targeting for your opponent's monsters, which cannot be targeted with the protection effect from the torpedo, and a ghost ogre. That's a lot. That's a lot for all these cards. And to make matters like worse for your opponent is like this board has a lot of resiliency as well. Like for example, once you detach from Varudras on your opponent's turn, you can detach the Miasma. Miasma will trigger because you have the Divine Domain. Miasma will resummon itself, and then the Miasma is going to search another Tistina monster. And this is not even talking about other possibilities that you could have done. Like for example, you could have blinked away the Sentinel, and then if you control the Demigod, you can bring back the Sentinel. That's another example of stuff that you could have done. Like, yeah, I have really high hopes for Tistina now. Chaotic Elements can also search the Miasma. You can dump this card with Foxy Tune and it will trigger because of Divine Domain. You can add it. You can discard this card with Double Wild to summon the Crystal God, and then this will resummon itself. Like the dynamic behind the Miasma is just a little bit too like. It's very creative. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in an updated Tistina deck profile, and if you want to see more combos involving this card, Tistina by no means is going to be a tier 1 deck because of this card. I think Tistina is just going to stay like a solid tier 2, tier 3 deck. However, this card really does fix a really big issue that the deck has. It gives it a better identity now. And if you saw my video talking about chaotic elements, you already know that this deck has a very decent Ryziel matchup. So if Ryziel still is part of the format by the time this support comes out, then that's already a good matchup for you. Vanquish Soul is another deck that's really easy for this deck to beat. And you're probably wondering, why am I bringing up Vanquish Soul? Well, you're gonna have to stay tuned for that in the near future. I actually do have high hopes for Tistina, like, again, as a solid strategy. And I already have a lot of ideas. But until that time comes, keep practicing and keep dueling.